At 22 years old, I was diagnosed with leukemia. The doctors told me and my parents point blank that I had about a 35% chance of long-term survival. Over the next 4 years of chemo, a clinical trial, and a bone marrow transplant, the hospital became my home. Since it was unlikely that I'd ever get better, I had to accept my new reality. I became fluent in medicalese, made friends with a group of other young cancer patients, built a vast collection of neon wigs, and learned to use my rolling IV pole as a skateboard. Thanks to an army of supportive humans, I'm not just still here, I am cured of my cancer. When you go through a traumatic experience like this, people treat you differently. They start telling you how much of an inspiration you are. They call you a hero, someone who's lived the mythical hero's journey, who's endured impossible trials and against the odds lived to tell the tale, returning better and braver for what you've been through. The truth is that for me, the hardest part of my cancer experience began once the cancer was gone. That heroic journey of the survivor we see in movies and watch play out on Instagram, it's a myth. It isn't just untrue, it's dangerous because it erases the very real challenges of recovery. See, we talk about reentry in the context of war and incarceration, but we don't talk about it as much in the context of other kinds of traumatic experiences, like an illness. Because no one had warned me of the challenges of reentry, I thought something must be wrong with me. I felt ashamed, and with great guilt, I kept reminding myself of how lucky I was to be alive at all. But on most days, I woke up feeling so sad and lost I could barely breathe. Sometimes I even fantasized about getting sick again. Once I stopped expecting myself to return to the person I'd been pre-diagnosis, once I learned to accept my body and its limitations, I actually did start to feel better. And in the end, I think that's the trick, to stop seeing our health as binary, between sick and healthy, well and unwell, whole and broken. To stop thinking that there's some beautiful, perfect state of wellness to strive for. And to quit living in a state of constant dissatisfaction until we reach it. Every single one of us will have our life interrupted, whether it's by the ripcord of a diagnosis or some other kind of heartbreak or trauma that brings us to the fore. We need to find ways to live in the in-between place, managing whatever body and mind we currently have. If you're able to do that, then you've taken the real hero's journey. You've achieved what it means to actually be well, which is to say alive in the messiest, richest, most whole sense.